story coming in. It is breaking news regarding the CRPF examinations. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has written to the Union Home Minister. He said, I'm shocked to find that youth of Tamil Nadu will have to do the CRPF computer-based test in only English or Hindi. This is one more chapter in a language battle of sorts we've seen play out for decades. Where various states in the south have claimed that it is important not to leave out southern languages when it comes to tests that are being given by the centre. Let's go over to my colleague Purnima right now for more context on this. Purnima, tell us more. I know that KTR had first raised this point. He'd said, why isn't this happening in Tamil, in Telugu? Now, of course, we have M.K. Stalin saying similar. Can you bring us more context?
Well, yet again, language war erupts. M.K. Stalin has now written to Home Minister Amit Shah, and in the letter, he in fact urges the Home Minister to look into the matter and also instruct CRPF authorities to amend notification where exams are conducted only in English and Hindi, and wants them to also have Tamil and other regional languages also, so that everyone gets an equal opportunity. Yet again, language war erupts now with Chief Minister writing to Home Minister and asks for amendments so that the CRPF exams be held in other languages apart from English and Hindi.
Okay, can you walk us through, have we had any, well, two questions for you. Have we had any response coming from the centre, A, and B, what typically happens when the CRPF gives such examinations? Do they typically happen in other languages?
Well, so far no response yet from the centre on this issue. Chief Minister Stalin has just written a short while ago to Home Minister, so we'll expect a political debate over the entire issue. And talking about the exams, so far the exams were held only in English and Hindi. That's been the norm, which is why now Chief Minister is urging the Home Minister to consider some amendments in the notification and ensure that exams be held in other languages so that every state gets an equal opportunity. Language has always been an emotive and electoral issue in Tamil Nadu, and now the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and the DMK as a party is raking up the issue so that people from Tamil Nadu also be given an equal opportunity for such exams.
The Central Reserve Police Forces, or CRPF, as we're talking about, Purnima, I just want to understand from you a little bit more context here. When other police forces, other army organizations also, security forces and agencies from the centre, when they have their examinations, is it typically the rule of the book to have it in only English and Hindi, or are there other organizations that do differently? Okay, I think we've actually lost our connection with my colleague Purnima, but the context we were bringing you here on this story was that this is not the first leader to make this statement. Remember, we were also telling you that K.T. Ramarao from the BRS has made a similar statement just a few days ago. Now, Kovai Satyam from the AIDMK is with us right now. The AIDMK typically is the DMK's opposition in Tamil Nadu, but let's see how they align on this issue. Mr. Satyan, thank you for joining us this morning on CNN News 18. Mr. Satyan, we were just discussing the stance that the DMK Chief Minister has chosen to take. He's asked if this examination can also be administered in another language. Where is the AIDMK falling on this, sir?
The DMK and the opposition of NDA are using language as a tool for divisive politics.
Okay.
Mr. Stalin, while they were in power in Tamil Nadu, he couldn't state the fact that the same examinations were held in English and Hindi, but not in vernacular languages, if I recall it. Suddenly, on one fine day, getting an enlightenment and trying to instigate people on the pretext of language is nothing but a divisive politics which they want to go.
Okay, so if I could just stop you, that's definitely a good point, and it's a point we'll ask if we do have any DMK leader with us, this question of why now. But I do want to ask you, sir, language has been a particularly passionate issue for people in your party too, and that's why I want to ask you, when it comes to the broader ask they're making, we'll ask the party itself about the timeline. But the ask that they're making, that this be given in regional languages, are you going to support it?
See, the people who prepare for these kinds of examination are very well aware about the rules and regulations. If you had made the same statement a couple of months prior to this examination, then we would have supported MK Stalin on the same issue because these students will get a chance to prepare on the same. And after the exams are being announced, suddenly in one fine day you get an enlightenment and try to instigate people on the pretext of language is not in the right direction. When it comes to the state, yes, language holds good. AIDMK is okay with a 2-language policy, not a 3-language policy. But when something which has been conducted as a mundane practice for years and years, just to try to build a narrative for your political mileage, that doesn't sound good.
Okay, but sir, I do want to ask you here, if people have been preparing for months with the knowledge that the exam only happens in English or Hindi, and if there were to be such a change, and say, for example, it were to suddenly take place in a regional language, that will only help people who've been preparing, correct? They won't need to prepare anymore if it's in a language that they already know, right?
At the 11th hour. Yeah, it's a collective decision which has to be taken from the center as well. It can't be at the whims and fancies of somebody's political narrative and agenda.
Okay, all right.
You cannot confuse people at the 11th hour. It is good if it is considered in vernacular languages, but it has to be in a proper forum with consensus, not in a political war.
Okay, Kovai Satyam from the AIDMK raising a few very important points. So he is saying, A, that we would support such a demand if it had taken place at the correct time. But he's saying that because the demand was made after the exams were already announced, him and the rest of his party believe this is happening only to create political ruckus. So his party is not supporting the call made by the DMK right now, but they are saying, yes, in a larger sense, if this were to be a change, we wouldn't stand back from supporting it. So it's playing out very interestingly in Tamil Nadu, as it would perhaps be expected to. You have, remember, the DMK on one side, and in the opposition, you have the AIDMK and the BJP, which is why it was important for us to speak to the AIDMK to understand how a regional party like them would side. Would they choose to side with the BJP, which is obviously in power in the center, or would they choose to side with the DMK on an issue that is of massive regional importance to those of us who are from the south? Let's go over to my colleague Purnima right now for more context on this. Purnima, we spoke right now to Kovai Satyam from the AIDMK, and he was saying if this demand had been made months ago, he would even, and the AIDMK even would have supported this demand. But because it's being made now, there's an issue. Purnima, can you tell our audiences, the other question he was saying was that the timing of this demand is circumspect. Can you bring us more context to the timing over here? His question was, why is the DMK making this demand now? What is the context there, Purnima?
Well, language has always been an emotive and electoral issue in Tamil Nadu. Therefore, the BJP says that every time the DMK uses this as an opportunity to gain political mileage. But the DMK, however, maintains that there are candidates who would like to appear for these exams, and apart from English and Hindi, they should also be available in other languages so that people from Tamil Nadu also get an opportunity to apply for such exams. There are many such demands that have been put forth by Chief Minister MK Stalin before this. And this is yet another instance where Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has now urged Home Minister to make some amendments so that other states will also be benefited out of it.
Okay. Thank you for bringing us that context, Purnima.